Your morning cup of coffee, that refreshing glass of orange juice, or even your dinner plate of beef are about to get a whole lot more expensive. And it's all thanks to a bombshell announcement from Washington. President Trump just slapped a massive 50% tariff on pretty much everything coming into the U.S. from Brazil. This isn't just some small fee. It's the highest tariff rate he's thrown at any country so far, and it kicks in on August 1st. This isn't just about trade numbers. It's about a direct hit to your wallet, hitting everyday items you probably don't even think about. I'll give you the full details on who really pays for this and why it's more than just economics at the very end of this video, so make sure to watch until the very end. First, let's talk about what's directly in the crosshairs. Brazil isn't just some coffee producer. It's the world's biggest. Think about it. About 1/3 of all the coffee beans imported into the US comes straight from Brazil. Now imagine a 50% extra tax on those beans. Your coffee, which already costs more thanks to droughts and wild weather, is about to climb even higher. Coffee prices have already surged. A pound of ground coffee that cost around $4 in 2020 jumped to over $8 recently. Now, add this tariff on top. Many roasters already paid about $6,000 for a pallet of green coffee beans last year, and it's now about $9,000. This new tariff will push those costs up another 50%. Businesses like your local coffee shop, they're scrambling right now. They're literally racing against the clock to import as much Brazilian coffee as they can before August 1st. They're trying to build up their stock to delay the price increases for you, but that can only last so long. Some importers are already adding that extra 50% charge to their wholesale prices for any coffee arriving after the deadline. You might think, well, what about American-grown coffee? We have some fantastic coffee farms in Hawaii, for example, but they're worried too. This tariff won't give them a leg up. Instead, consumers faced with suddenly much more expensive imported coffee will probably just buy cheaper brands or even cut back on coffee entirely. That means less demand for all coffee, even American-grown. So your morning ritual is on the front lines of this trade war. It's not just coffee. Get ready for an orange juice shocker. Brazil is responsible for about 75% of global orange juice exports, and they supply over half of all the orange juice sold in the U.S. With this 50% tariff, the price of frozen orange juice concentrate, which was about $1,600 per ton, could jump to about $2,400 per ton. That's a 45% increase. Why is this a big deal? Because we don't have many other places to get our orange juice from. Our own orange production here in the U.S. has fallen dramatically in the last 2 decades due to weather and disease. So there aren't easy alternatives. And for dinner, Brazil supplies about 23% of the beef imported into the U.S. This isn't fancy beef. It's often the lean beef used to make your ground beef. Brazilian meatpackers are already halting shipments to the U.S., and their industry estimates they could lose over $1 billion this year alone and a massive $3 billion annually if these tariffs stick around. This isn't just a slight increase. It could make Brazilian beef exports to the U.S. completely impossible. This could mean rising beef prices here in America, especially for ground beef. Interestingly, some U.S. cattle groups are actually cheering this tariff. They've complained for years about Brazilian beef imports, citing concerns about animal health issues, and also saying that cheap Brazilian imports hurt American ranchers. They see this as protection, but it will definitely shake up the beef market. Now, you might be thinking, this is supposed to help American businesses, right? But the truth about who actually pays these tariffs is usually the exact opposite. Here's the part that hits home. When a tariff is imposed, it's not the foreign country that pays it. It's the importer in the U.S. who pays that tax to the U.S. government. And guess what happens next? They pass that cost directly onto you, the American consumer. Think of it like this. That extra 50% tax on Brazilian coffee beans, that gets added to the price the roaster pays, then to the price the coffee shop charges, and finally, you pay it at the register. This isn't just speculation. Experts warn that retail coffee prices could jump by as much as 50%. And this hidden tax disproportionately burdens lower-income households because essential items like coffee and orange juice make up a larger part of their budget. It's a regressive tax, meaning it hits those with less money harder. Businesses are already saying this creates an expensive supply chain. It's not just the products, it's everything that goes into them. For instance, coffee capsule makers are getting hit twice. once on the aluminum they import for the capsules, and again on the coffee beans inside. They can't just absorb these costs, they have to pass them on. This isn't just a simple trade dispute. President Trump has directly linked these tariffs to political reasons. He's stated they're partly because of Brazil's handling of its former president, calling his legal issues a witch hunt. He's also criticized Brazil for its policies impacting American social media platforms. Beyond that, there's a bigger geopolitical game at play. Brazil has been strengthening its ties with countries like China, joining blocs like BRICS, and signing new trade deals. Trump views this as a move against the US dollar and American influence. So these tariffs are a message in a much larger global power struggle. This creates a massive headache for everyone involved. Brazilian companies are looking to redirect their products to Europe and Asia. American companies, which have had long-standing relationships and complex supply chains with Brazil for decades, can't just switch suppliers overnight. Think about the special coffee blends your favorite roaster makes. They rely on specific beans from specific regions. Finding new suppliers, negotiating new contracts, and setting up new logistics takes time, money, and is incredibly difficult. Many alternative coffee-producing countries are much smaller, or they're also facing tariffs from the US, making them not so cheap alternatives. So, what does all this mean? It means a more fragmented, volatile, and expensive market for everyday goods. Your breakfast table is directly impacted by these decisions made far away. Prices for your coffee, orange juice, and beef are likely going up starting very soon. This isn't some abstract economic theory. It's a real, tangible hit to your wallet. The biggest takeaway? The American consumer, that's you, is the one who will bear the brunt of these tariffs. That's the reality of what's brewing. If you found this information helpful, hit that like button to let me know. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more insights into how global events impact your money, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any crucial updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.